Greetings, Marina Ormes here with your Astro Vibe for Saturday, February 11th. We're looking at a weekend of transformation today. Starts out the day with the moon in Libra, where it has been for a couple of days. Libra brings a focus to partnership. And so I've been talking in the last couple of videos here about relationships and how some of the ideas that can help us remind us how to approach relationships in ways that can be empowering, where we can do some of the work of moving through challenges and conflict and some of the difficulties that come up in the context of relationships, whether it's a romantic relationship or another type of relationship. It can be a peer or a colleague of some sort. So we've been talking about relationships and how to work with them to get them to work for us, right? Because when relationships are functioning optimally, it's the best thing in the world, right? You feel supported, you feel like you've got someone to share things with and do things with and make things happen with. And ultimately, we're able to co-create more powerfully when we have more than one set of skills and wisdom and perspective and all of that. So, but of course, we have to be moving in the same direction in order to be most powerful and effective. So that brings me to my point about the moon going into Scorpio today. So it starts out the day with the moon in Libra. And then around 11 a.m. Pacific time, the moon goes into Scorpio. So you can adjust for your time zone. But anyway, once the moon goes into Scorpio, we go into deeper territory. So whatever's been coming up that you've been thinking about or talking about or working through in relationship is going to go to the deeper places where there may not be words to express what is coming up. And so Scorpio is the sign of death and rebirth. It is bringing an opportunity for transformation. And in order to embrace that transformation, sometimes we have to be willing to look at some difficult truths and let what's been in the darkness or unconscious come to light. And as we do this deeper work of looking deeper within ourselves, we can create a deeper foundation of trust, of intimacy, of more rewarding connections, more fulfilling sexuality, all the things that Scorpio is inviting us to experience at deeper levels. But of course, it requires a deeper level of trust in ourselves. Check out yesterday's video if you missed that, about the key to keep, deepening and strengthening relationships, and about how to develop and build trust in yourself so that you can bring that to the relationship and be operating and relating from a place of self-trust, which strengthens your own ability to be in the world and in relationships and partnerships. So we have this opportunity, this scorpionic energy of transformation, and what it brings is often difficult. It can ask us to look at those harder truths. It can ask us to confront or feel things that are difficult, but it's that process of dissolving that when we let go of the old ways of, some of the old ways of responding we have that might be based in survival mechanisms, in old habits and patterns that we might use or have used in the past to sort of hold ourselves up or keep things going, even though it's maybe not in our best interest. So, addictions would be like an obvious way that could manifest, right? It's a crutch. You're reaching for something to fulfill an emptiness, a hole, something that really needs healing inside of you that hasn't had its needs met. So addiction is one form of that, reaching for our crutches, our junk food, or some maybe habits and patterns you may have that may not be the healthiest, but they kind of help you cope, help you deal with stress. That's what I'm talking about. It's like this, and those can show up in relationship, right? Maybe you have some patterns of how you speak to each other that help you avoid getting to some deeper places of conflict or challenge, or maybe confronting some feelings that you have or your partner has. So, ways that we have to cope and function on a day-to-day level often can help us keep at bay some of those deeper truths and deeper healing opportunities. So what's happening this weekend is that those deeper healing opportunities are coming up, asking us to embrace this process of transformation more consciously, and with an attitude of self-love and self-trust, because it may not always feel good, but we can still trust that this is a process that is ultimately going to serve our greatest good and help to build and develop that deepening experience of trust and strengthen our relationships. So, as one of my listeners pointed out, we're not all in relationships, and it can be a source of pain for some people. So this is about your relationship with yourself at a very foundational level, and how to approach that, support yourself, and maybe talk to yourself, right? Think of yourself as your own partner, and how can you work together with the different parts of yourself to support yourself in healing, in feeling loved, in appreciating yourself, all the things that you would want a partner to bring. How can you do that for yourself? So those are some of the themes that are coming up this weekend. I'd love to hear if this resonates, if it rings true for you, if you're discovering anything that is a breakthrough for you. I'd love to hear about it. And thank you so much for being here and for watching. And I will be back with more of these astro vibes, and I'll have something to share with you tomorrow. So check it out, and thanks for being here. Astrologyheals.com is where you can learn more about me and ways that you could work with me if that is something you want to check out. I've got books that I've written that can be supportive also in your process. So check that out. Cycles of Healing and Astrology Heals are the names of my books. I'll talk more about them another time, but feel free to check them out on my website. Thanks for being here. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't already, it's a great way to stay in touch with these videos and what the planets are doing every day. By the way, I forgot to mention also Mercury going into Aquarius. And so we could have, as Mercury shifts its energy from Capricorn to Aquarius, our communication could enter new territory. It could break free of some old molds and bring new possibilities for how we can express ourselves, can share our ideas, hear new ideas, get insights about what could help us in our transformational process. So that's there as well. Thanks again for being here. I will see you next time. Bye for now.